welcome everyone on behalf of the Network of Quality Teaching and Learning. I welcome all of you to the EdTech Lounge session today. I can see there are a lot of familiar faces, a lot of people who have been to the EdTech Lounge sessions before, so you know the format. Thank you very much for coming back. We're very excited to have all of you here. So the format, as you know, is very simple. Our speaker will speak for about 15 to 20 minutes, and after that, we will open the session for Q&A. During the talk, if you have any questions, please write them in the chat window, because we will address all the questions and comments at the end of the talk. Please keep your video and your microphones turned off during the presentation and during the speaker's talk, just to preserve the bandwidth. If at any point you're facing any technical issues, please do not hesitate to type your concern in the chat window, and we will monitor the chat window and we will respond to it. So it is my pleasure to invite Ms. Zohra Kurji, Assistant Professor and Lactation Consultant at the Al Khan University School of Nursing and Midwifery and Al Khan University Hospital, Karachi, Pakistan. Since 2012, Zohra has been engaged in blended learning and innovation in nursing curriculum. In 2016, she received simulation training from the Center of Medical Education in Boston, USA. Currently, she is a member of the International Nursing Association for Clinical Simulation and Learning. She is also serving as Simulation Champion and Blended Learning Lead Facilitator at CIME and School of Nursing and Midwifery, Al Khan University. And today, Zohra will share with us some experiences of online assessment and quality assurance. Two topics which are really hot topics right now, and almost everyone is talking about them. So thank you, Zohra, for coming to this session, and over to you.
First of all, thank you so much, Azra, for inviting me. And today I'll talk about the summer program which held in 2017. So before moving to the story, my story actually begins with a story of Titanic. So everybody, I think, watched the Titanic, and to just make yourself connected, write in the chat box, what was the issues Titanic sank? So just write down so I can see what is in your mind. If you have watched that movie, so just write and comment what was the issue that Titanic was sank? And they were unable to save the people. Lack of coordination. Okay. Thank you, Kiran. Overconfidence. Yes, Abhi. A misplaced key. Poor planning. Yes. Good. Panic. Yes. Poor planning. Communication issues. Yes, Khalid. Thank you. So, yes, crisis occurring. Yes, Mishanaz, you are very right. So, by looking at all the issues, so I have 5 lessons from the Titanic, and with each lesson, I will try to connect my presentation. First of all, first lesson was never limit your beliefs. So the pilot was, when they developed the constructions, when they developed the Titanic, they thought that it will be unsinkable boat. So the lifeboats were very few with the ship, and that was the biggest cause we lost the lives, many of the lives, because there's a very limited boats. So the lesson 1 is never to limit your beliefs is the one thing which the lesson 1 we need to learn from the Titanic. So what was the belief we had in our system when we started the summer, and what was the disaster? So we were talking about the 5 lessons. So today in entire presentation, we will just share the 5 lessons, and we will see how we can relate it.
Okay, so let me give you the feel of Titanic. So just relax. So as you talk about already the reasons why the Titanic has sank, and we were in the lesson, and then first lesson we talk about never limit your beliefs. So we talked, the captain was never thought about that, you know, this boat will be sink, it will sink sometime. So there's a limited lifeboats were available, and that was the concern for the survival. So what was a disaster? The disaster was like in the summer course program, uh, when we came to know that from 10,010 10 to 15, our credit hours are not appropriate to the HEC requirement. When graduates come back to the school and they said that, you know, they required 62 credits, however, their transcript is showing 54, because we don't have any prescribed curriculum at the time of before 2010, it was not given by HEC or PNC. So there was a number of graduates who were unable to, their degrees was in hold. So that was the biggest disaster, that more than 400 students were back to the school to have some kind of deficiency program which is offered, and that was the biggest disaster. And the students graduate was all over the region, not only Pakistan, but the majority was already migrated because of the migration issues. So in North America, in Australia, in UK, in Dubai, all part of the world, Afghanistan, Karachi, and within the region, within the local, they were in northern areas, they were in Sindh and so-called and so on. So we start planning that how we can plan with this disaster. And then faculty council. So the process we have followed, faculty hired for Pakistan Studies and Islamia, because we have lots and lots of nursing faculty, but we don't have to teach 400 students. So we need faculty. We need blended learning refresher course for our faculty members, because each and every Sonam faculty was the part of teaching the program. We need to train new faculty members for the blended learning, because every faculty was not the blended learning trained. We need to develop online modules, templates. We need IT supports for the virtual classroom. And that was the first time in 2017 when we sit with the IT to explore about how we can provide the synchronous classes, which was a part of the course. And then there come the Zoom, and then Zoom to webinar, because we have learned that Zoom class only able to adjust 100 students, and we have the more than 100 students. So our few students were out of the class very first day. So then we go to the webinar, and everything was within the 6 weeks of the period of time, because that was given by HEC that deficiency course can only be offered into the break, not into the full semester. So lots and lots of Titanic is saying what if possibilities, but looking back and pondering over the wrong may, you know, change what it has already happened. You cannot more, it's more helpful rather of Sonam how to solve this problem by having the given resources. So because of we were able to communicate more frequently with our graduates, within 2 weeks we were able to approach 85% of the students from 2010 till 2015, and also the BSCM, Bachelors of Nursing and Midwifery program students were also deficiency with their compulsory course, so we were able to approach them. So because we focused on present, we don't focus on past of the issues, so we able to give our full energy to enroll the students in the course. And it was a big achievement when 85% of the graduates able to enroll in the courses. But then the issues was not stopped here, because it's lots of happening during this time. We decided to offer these 3 courses. One was a 3 credit clinical courses, and 2
2 credits Islamiyat and Pak studies. So these was the 7 credits we need to give them so they can complete their deficiency, and their deficiency could be fulfilled by HEC. Now, lesson number 4. Some fears can be good. Look, the Titanic, people created fears. They don't have any fears initially when they built up the ship. They thought it's insinkable. So they had never worked about on their weaknesses. So lesson is that although some fears may stop you from nurturing, but it can also nurture your true potential. So what potential come out of this summer course? So first fear was synchronous classes. And in 2017, first time Sonam was a trailblazer, and it was a complete shift. You can see all the faculty in the class and all students are on the screen. So we divided 400 students into 4 cohorts. One cohort was done in the morning classes, one was an evening, 100 students, then 100 comes on weekend, and then more than 100 was scattered through the virtual classroom who are not able to come to the campus. And as I said, it was from all over the region. So first time we have seen that students were on the screen, and only few faculty members along with IT is sitting in the class and taking the first synchronous class. Now these are the smart people, because without them it was not possible to take online assessment, virtual proctoring, and that is which is the main we will talk about our learning, that about the quality assurance measures, about the exam security, about how to give them mock exams so we can able to know they are able to connect with us, because we have only developed one exam paper for everybody, for the student who are coming to the campus and the student who are virtually connected. So one time zone was for everybody, we have put it down. So during that time zone, everybody was able to, few students were sitting here in the Sonam classroom with the all the invigilators, and this proctoring we have done with the virtual. We use Zoom for the proctoring, and then we use WhatsApp, and one landline was all the time with us, because we asked the students to connect at least half an hour before, so if there's any connection issue, they can able to connect with us. And this is from course site. Examination slot was given to them, and we have put it down here very boldly and through the email that it's a student responsibility to make the internet connection speed. 2 MB needs to be there, the backup plan needs to be there, electricity failure and internet disconnection needs to be catered. So we observed that, you know, our student was really adult learner. They have taken the responsibility a lot on their shoulder, because they were graduating, they were suffering, they want to do this deficiency course. So during the exam, we have not find a single issue. Rest of the 3 students were unable to connect, and that was because of the proxy issue. And then our IT smart people change the proxy setting, they provide to the students, and they can able to connect to the exam. So for the quality assurance purpose, we did the mock exam. We keep the help forum for the mock exam. So before every exam, we need to take the mock exam to see that students are understanding the process, because these students never were, few of the students never done the blended learning before, because blended learning started school from 2012. So 2010 and 2011 graduates never done the VLE before. So we need to train them. We need to make sure they're understanding each and every step. So they can, you know, the facilitation was day to day given to those students, so they can able to connect with the course and exam. So lesson number 5, and this is a final, count your blessings. So disaster was panic, anxiety, guilt for our students, negative feeling, how it will possible to give within the 6 weeks, but we count our blessings. We have not expressed the negative, but we focus as in Sonam, we focus as in positive thing, positive attitude, what we really have with the Sonam. So the team, without team effort, it is impossible to run the show. So these were the beautiful ladies with us, and they were the content expert. As I say, the care of elderly was offered. So Ms. Samina Vartaji, she is the stream head for geriatric. She is running the stream, so she is expert. Miss Amina has also developed course, geriatric course care of elderly modules, and Amber was there as in support of all the blended learning things. Lela research is regarding to the elderly population. So everybody, every single faculty members has some kind of potential to run the show. Now these beautiful staff, because without them it was very much impossible. 400 students, no VLE account, login into the VLE system, no AKU email ID, because majority of students went away, graduates don't have the valid ID. Within 4 days, IT helped us to develop 400 email IDs for them so they can able to connect on VLE. And each staff, Sonam staff helped them because we have made the counter for the facilitation. So inside students were there to come to sit with them, and they were able to help them to create the account and to some logging ID issues, because it was a blended learning mode. And then all also get the query related to login issues and others. So this was our first class of Sonam dedication team, and the students are there. And this is our first virtual inauguration. You can see all the students from the back side. It was around more than 100 students, 100 graduates. After a years of when we see holding the newborn baby at home, working with their workstation, and during the break they are coming out and having their coffee and taking the class. Few students were in metros. They were just coming back from the home, going to the home because of the time zone issues. So we have seen them, everybody is engaging in the learning process with their own existing responsibility, and they able to connect us. And it was such a blessing when our IT team was there to introduce, and everybody was on the screen and only the stakeholders and faculty members was there. So one was a blessing is Sonam e-learning and digital media office. And this office we have talked about in 2010 under the leadership of Dr. Rosina, when she started along with the blended learning office to, and that was a vision, you know. So because of that vision, we had the Sonam e-learning and digital media office, and then every dean support this idea, support blended learning team, and we are blessed to having the blended learning training initially. And because of that blessing, we can able to produce within the 6 weeks Pak Studies and Islamiyat resources ready. So every time it was ready, it was checked for the quality assurance, and it was running through to the students. Now we need support also for the English language teams, supported us in terms of editing all the modules and the quality assurance process. And we learned that our students are forget the APA, and our assignment is also, it's a paper writing assignments. They need to have an APA session, because otherwise the plagiarism issue will be there. So the English support staff give support to take their refreshing course on APA session. Clinical was another issue. I'll not talk more about the clinical challenges because it's a whole soul of thing how we sort it out. But because of this, we developed the preceptor capacity locally, nationally, regional and international preceptors, and we put the criteria of quality assurance for the preceptors as well. So that is sort of different sort of talk maybe sometime, but I'll not more touch upon it. So what happened after counting each blessing, whatever the Sonam has, we able to complete the deficiency around 77%. Okay, so that was the biggest achievement. Few drop-off we have received because of their personal and professional reasons. So this is the feedback from the students. So mainly feedback I will highlight it here. It's the mock exam was helpful. So 3.21. Give the mock exam was helpful for them out of 5. 4.15 says that guidelines provided before the exam were helpful. Facilitation, they really find the helpful. So whenever we make the virtual exam assessment, we need to think, you know, mock is important, which we have learned out of experience. Lots and lots of communication. The more we communicate, the more we cater the students' anxiety, definitely we can make them less anxious towards the exam. And the time which we given to each MCQs was such a limited time that, you know, student cannot be stay on one question so long, and one page, one question. So, you know, they cannot stay on one page, and we can limit our exam security. So now COVID-19, another disaster. So the ship, the Titanic ship, the Titanic lesson is still with us. If you will do the same thing, we will able to face this disaster as well. So again, the online assessment started during the COVID time with TNI, 141 students, and Ms. Shinaz Qasim was leading this from the School of Nursing. And because of the previous lesson, we were able to give them online assessment in which MCQs, SAQs, discussion forums, all the assessments. So still that learning will help us in the time of COVID. And you can see the student-led virtual seminar. This was also very first time we offer in the course. And then finally, this was the joy moment with the dean and with the other faculty members. So acknowledgement, all Sonam faculty, registrar, mentors, Sonam staff, our digital media team, excellent. They were helping us because I can acknowledge them because it was a fast during time when we were offering the summer, and it was a Eid. So every single staff not celebrate the Eid, but they help us, they help the student to come up with this deficiency course. Even the fast, majority of time, they need to stay late, and because, so the transporters was provided to them, and it was a great experience. Without them, the Titanic needs to be not to sink up, and it needs to be there. I really like this poetry, but I will also translate it in Urdu, in English as well. So the poetry is given by Taqi, that जिसको तूफान से उलझने की हो आदत मौसिन, ऐसी कश्ती को समंदर भी दुआ देते हैं. And in English version is that if you have an ability to fight with the sea storm, so the sea will also bless you, you know. So with all the blessings and all the lesson learned, we hope that, you know, we will keep going and we will able to reach in our destination. So thank you so much, and the floor is open for question and answers.